Welcome to Lighthouse Talks. Today, we'd like to share a short conversation with Peter McDonald. A passionate collector and longtime Lighthouse partner, he'll be telling us about his journey, the importance of quality in protecting collections, and some advices for young collectors. Let's dive in. Do you have a memorable story from your experience as a collector or dealer?
The one I'd like to tell is a coin went around the Bourse floor in Montreal about 25 years ago. Nobody knew what it was. We had an idea what it was, but we weren't sure. And then we were also concerned that maybe it was a counterfeit. So anyway, one fella decided he'd buy it. So he did. He paid $350 for the coin. Showed the coin to me. I said, I have a guy for that. He'll probably pay $1,000. He says, okay. He says, anything over 700, we'll split 50-50. I said, okay. So I took the coin, shipped it to my guy. My guy liked it, sent me the money. I paid the original guy his 700 plus 150, and I made $150. A year later, the coin is shipped back to me from my customer who says, so I showed it to somebody and they said it's a fake. I want my money back. Fair enough. Send him his check. Thank you very much. Now I've got a coin. What am I going to do with it? So I call a friend of mine in the States who specializes in these large coins. And he says, Mac, he says, that one, he says, I don't know. But there's a guy in Washington, D.C. who specializes on those. And his name is this and this. So I call the guy up. Can I send you a picture? No. He says, I don't have a computer. Okay. Can I mail you a picture? Yes. So I take a picture, mail it to him. He gets the picture, calls me up. He says, hey, it looks good, but I need to see it. So I ship the coin to him. And he gets it. He calls me up. He says, yep. He says, it's a good coin. It's the 11th found in the world of this issue at that time. And I said, that's wonderful. That's good news. Thank you so much. He said, oh, by the way, would you want to sell it? I said, yes, I'd be interested in selling it. He said, would you take $2,500 US for it? And I said, yes. And I never told the guy who shipped the coin back to me that it was real, because he'd want half of $2,500. So don't tell anybody that story.
When did you first start working with Lighthouse?
I first met Lighthouse in Berlin, probably in 1970.
What kind of customers do you usually work with?
I have customers who are buying ancient, Roman, Greek, medieval, European, African, Chinese, Japanese, Indian, the whole gamut.
From your experience, what makes Lighthouse stand out?
Is the quality of the material, so that you know if your coins are real Lighthouse material, they are protected. And that's very important, because you wouldn't want to have an expensive coin damaged due to mishandling. And Lighthouse leads the world in that field.
What advice would you give to young collectors who are just starting out?
I guess the most important thing now that we have the internet, use the internet. Everything is there. The history is there. The pictures are there. Okay. You can learn what you want to collect. Or use the internet to find something that you like. Push that.
How do you see technology changing the way collectors learn and connect?
And now with AI doing your searching for you, you can go through a lot more material in a nanosecond. What I used to take a month to do, I can now do in a minute. Information or research, it's all there now. And AI has allowed you to go in and absorb it quickly.